Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another series review. I just watched the final episode of Season 2 of Mr. Robot, and it was called Python Part 2. Oh dear lord. Yeah, a lot of revelations were made in this particular episode, and just to see how fragmented and disparate Elliot's mind really is really mind-boggling. And it's understandable because he's a demented genius. He's trying to make peace with the fact that he doesn't know he's got a mental illness. But I think this is probably one of the best shows that actually depicts mental illness in this way. Because there have been a lot of movies that do. This actually doesn't sugarcoat it, and I appreciate that. And a lot of media doesn't even want to touch the subject just because they feel people with mental illnesses is just one particular hue type. And it's the same thing with Asperger's. You can't just put it into a box and say, oh, all people with Asperger's are this, or everybody in this category is A, because that's a fallacy. You can't do that. It goes against logic. But there are so many variables, just like with everything else. And he realizes he's with Tyrell at the very last, and he's wondering, what have I wrought? And he doesn't listen to his voice of reason at the very end. It's almost like he's completely snapped. And he's gone crazy. I thought, And Tyrell shoots him. I thought, well, of course, he didn't give him any other recourse. And Darlene, or Angela, or whatever her name is, I think her name's Angela. Yeah, their relationship is becoming more complicated, and at the very end we see Mowgli, then a person from their past appears. I thought, there's more to this. Yeah, and of course they ended on a cliffhanger, like they do with everything, but I watched this particular episode with unmitigated glee, and it was just outstanding. And Tyrell's wife calls him, and yeah, things are getting more and more multi-layered, and I'm just dying to see what will happen in season 3. And of course, they had something that was very intriguing to me when Tyrell says the only things that his father knew in English were about red wheelbarrow. I thought, that's coincidental. And speaking of red wheelbarrow, in and of itself, the whole scheme of that, I got the book on pre-order, so I'm definitely going to read it and do a review of that, because I'm looking forward to reading it. I got the soundtrack. Even though I like electronica music, this particular type of quote-unquote music is more sound than anything. It's mood and tonality, kind of discord, which makes sense for the show and the characterization that it makes for the characters, and it shows what's really going on. My favorite theme is the actual hacking theme, because it's, very powerful, and actually gives me kind of inspiration. I know it sounds weird. Why is it giving me inspiration? I shouldn't be inspired by anarchy, but yeah, but it was just incredible, and I'm sad to see the season end, but I've got other shows that are going to keep me occupied for sure. But that's all I have to say about Python Part 2. And a lot of revelations in this particular episode were just unreal. This is a surreal episode. I think is my favorite episode of the season, other than when he gets kidnapped and starts seeing images back from the 80s and he's trapped in a sitcom with a laugh track. I love that. That episode was just trippy as heck, and I adored it. But the show is just trippy altogether. It's like one acid trip. But makes me think maybe he's still on Adderall, but maybe that's why, because he said something about that, and he's trying to make peace with himself, and ugh, it's just, whoa, existential quandary, and meaning of life, purpose, and trying to find peace and come to a conclusion, and madness and dementia. Well, I don't think you could call it dementia. I would call this schizophrenia. This is schizophrenia. It's absolutely fascinating, though, just the wanderings of the mind and the insanity of genius. And good show, definitely. And Mr. Esmail, he got an award. I thought, yay! Sami Malek, I should say. Rami Malek got an award, and Esmail should too, as well, for being the writer. But I was so happy. I'm like, oh, if I ever meet Rami in person, I'm gonna give him a big fat hug and tell him I love him. But hopefully security won't, because I get this crazed woman off me. No, I won't leave. I'm like a bug in your system. Get her off me. Yeah, I can see it happening. I can definitely see it happening. But no, I'm not really that crazy. But insanity is actually relative. That's all I have to say about this particular episode and season. And looking forward to next one. Until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, Susie.